Hello and welcome to this Affinity Photo tutorial, and this is specifically for one person, Nina Katrine, who in the Facebook group Affinity Photo Tutorials said that they were new to photo editing and wondered if it was possible to make a design of several photos in heart frames on top of a chosen background. I'm assuming she just means like one picture per heart frame rather than several photos in heart frames. So I've offered to do this video to show her how I would do it. There are probably other people may do it in different ways, but this is what I'm going to show her. And obviously, if you are new to photo editing yourself, this might be helpful to you as well. So this is the background image that I'm going to use, and we're going to put the heart shapes and the photos on top of this. So in the tools bar down here we have the shapes menu, and one of them is the heart tool. So I'm going to draw out a heart above this layer, and I'm just going to, if you look at the description along the bottom, it says that if you hold down the shift it will constrain the proportions, and if you hold down control it will create from the center point. So I'm going to hold down control and shift. It may be different on a Mac, but on a PC it's control and shift, and then I'll just click and drag out a heart shape, and then let go of the left mouse button, and then let go of the keys that I was holding down. So coming to the move tool, I will position this, and you can rotate it if that's what you are after, and you're not restricted in this sort of instance to the shape that you may want to use and add pictures to. I'm just using hearts because that is what Nina asked for. Again, it doesn't matter what colour the heart is because the picture will go over the top of that. So let's just move this up so we can just see that flower still. So I'm going to add another 4 hearts. You can do this in different ways. You could sort of right click this layer with the heart on and duplicate. That will sort of add it as another layer, and it will be exactly in the same place, so you can just use the move tool and drag out that copy and put it sort of like there, for instance. Or you can hold down the control key, click and drag, and it will make another copy there. So these are different ways that you can do this. So I will put another one over there, and obviously I'm not positioning them brilliantly. You can just sort of, if you're doing your own design, you can make yours better. Again, you're not restricted to 4. You can add more or less depending on how much of that background image you want to become shown through. So now we have a background layer and the 4 different heart layers. So I'm going to highlight the bottom layer, and because we're on the move tool it will show you which one is being highlighted because it has that bounding box around the outside. So now we want some images to go into this. So I haven't got any I'm not going to use any of my own. I'm going to use some from pixabay.com, and I'm going to use the stock tab for this, and I'm going to use pictures of dogs. Now I have already dragged in a couple, and I'm going to bring in another one, and one way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start a new file, doesn't matter what size it is, and then I'm going to click and drag one of these images onto this document, and this image is bigger than the document size that I made, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to come up to the document menu and then clip to canvas, and that will make the document canvas size the size of the picture. So that is 3 dogs that we have here. So I'm going to start with this dog and its layer, and I'm going to right click this and then copy it, come back to our image and this layer here. Now I want to make this a child layer of this layer here. There's a number of ways of doing this, and the first one can be, you can just come direct to edit and paste, and let me zoom out because as you can see this image is vastly bigger than the heart shape, but I will just hold down the control key to resize that and then fit that over the layer that I wanted to be a child layer of. And you can then come to the layers panel, click on the icon, hold down the left mouse button and just drag this down until you get that, and sort of drag it down and slightly to the right until you get that blue line coming over to just about the edge of the heart icon. Then let go of the mouse button. So if I zoom in again, so as you can see that dog is now within the heart shape, and you can resize it to fit as best you can. So we do it like that. So coming to the next heart layer, so this is this one here. Now let's pick another, we'll try this one. So again I'll right click and copy, but this time I'm going to sort of automatically make this a child layer without having to drag and drop, and you can do that with the arrange menu and come down to the bottom and insertion inside. You click on that, and then the next function that you do will insert it inside the highlighted layer. So then if I edit and paste, that will automatically make that a child layer. Again, this picture is bigger than the heart that I'm going to put it in, so I'm going to hold down the control key to keep the proportions and just bring it to roughly about the right size. Bring it in, control and 0 to zoom back in, and just making sure that all of the heart shape is being covered. Let's put it about there. Yeah, that's okay. So that's two of the hearts done, and we'll come to this bottom one here and the other dog picture that I have here. Again, I'll right click and copy that, and this is going to be the same principle as the one before, but rather than go up to the range menu, this icon up here is the same, does the same thing. So if you click on that, the next thing you do will make a child layer of that, of the highlighted layer. So I will paste, and again we're going to have to resize this, again holding down the control key to get this proportions remaining the same, and then it's just a case of positioning it. And there's the third dog and the last heart, and I'll come back to the stock menu and we'll pick a different dog picture. Let's try this one. Now this time I'll just sort of click and drag this onto the image, and this time we will have to, I will zoom right out and put it roughly where I want it, about there. Come back to the layers menu, and again we're going to need to make this a child layer. Like I said, you can click and drag this down, and if I remember correctly, there is an option to move inside. So this will make the layer that is at top a child layer of the layer below it. So if I move inside, as you can see, that has made that a child layer of that heart at the bottom there. So let me just put that about there like that. So basically that is it. We have the background image, we have 4 heart shapes and 4 dog images within those heart shapes, and all sort of put in different ways, and like 4 different ways to making child layers of those dog pictures. So hopefully that answers Nina's question and anybody else's who's having a similar problem. So thank you for watching and goodbye.